buongiorno, sunlivis. I couldn't find a place to go and ponder today in my little 6k walk, so I figured I'd do it here. Why does my neck look so fat? Look at that. I honestly look like a turtle. What the fuck is this? This is age. Look, this is age. Yeah. Okay, whatever, it is what it is. Anyway, I couldn't find a place, so I'm back at the hostel, chilling with my turtle neck. And, 50 days since I left the UK after living there for 23 years. And I suppose I should have something to kind of say, but I don't really think I do. My phone tried to commit seppuku. Back to the point at hand. I definitely feel insanely better. Like, on average, even on low days, I feel way better. And work has been not great, if I'm honest. It's been very touch and go. But, it's interestingly been a case of what I've done in the past probably isn't what I need to do going forward. What I mean by that is, at the moment, my work is as an audio engineer. I edit podcasts and I edit audiobooks, mainly audiobooks. But can I see myself doing that in 2 years? No. 5 years? Absolutely the fuck not. 10 years? Fuck no. So it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing, basically? So that's kind of what started happening, I think, from day 35. I thought it would take a few months for me to shake off the doom and gloom of living in the UK and all the pressures and all that kind of stuff. It took 35 days. Honestly, I was quite surprised where, like, the internal resetting was done, and I was just like, that was quick, which is great. Like, I'm here for it, so it just means things are moving quicker. As a result, I'm probably not going to be traveling for a whole year. I kind of feel more like getting back home to Kenya probably before the year is done is more kind of what I'm feeling. So as a result, you get the question of, well, what are we doing? Why are we here? Why don't we just go to Kenya immediately? And the main reason, of course, is because of jiu-jitsu. And I still want to befriend 100 purple belts. And as a result, I'm thinking maybe visiting 50 gyms is good. And with 50 gyms, and kind of like with the way my job at the moment is a bit touch and go, going to Brazil and Asia and New Zealand and Australia and all that can't really happen this time around. So it's just going to literally be like Europe and the US, because my Dutch passport means that I can go to those places relatively easily. So with all of that relates to, building up a network. So when I go back home to Kenya, and the plan there is to open a jiu-jitsu affiliate, one in the city. The long-term goal is to buy property and to build my home on there, to build a dojo there, and to build a guest house there. Yes, it wasn't influenced by the Budokan Montana experience I had 2 years ago. And with that, get this network to come back or come to Kenya and experience my homeland, how great my homeland is, whilst, sharing the wealth of jiu-jitsu and other martial arts knowledge to people who want to learn. And fundamentally, the whole thing with the dojo is to really support and nurture girls and women in martial arts, because I started martial arts when I was like 4 or 5, and my parents didn't let me get out of it, and then I didn't want to get out of it either because I really loved it, and it definitely set up my kind of persona, as it were. It set me up to be, pretty street smart, as it were. And I want that for girls and women in Kenya and wherever. If people are flying over for it, then so be it. So that's the main plan. So I'm 50 days in, and that's kind of feeling really, really clear and concise, as it were. So with that, that's all well and good. But the work thing is still kind of an issue up until this week. This week, I had some kind of just thoughts that were kind of ruminating in my head. And the main one was like, being in hostels is deliberate. One, it's cheaper, but two, you get to meet all kinds of amazing people. And the main thing I found was I just say very easy things about my life, like being a manager for the Olympics, DJing internationally, being a semi-professional DJ, working with some top-level people in the audiobook space for fitness, and traveling a lot, and the jobs I've done, and like all this kind of stuff. And everyone's like, "You've done a lot." I'm like, it's just average for someone who's almost 40, and I'm talking to people who are double my age or half my age, and they haven't done nearly as much as I have either way. And they got me thinking, even with having a half of my family being Israeli, dealing with that, the way my mother passed away or left on her own accord, the way my father passed away, all of these trials and tribulations, maybe I should help inspire people to do more with their lives. So being an inspirational, transformational speaker with the main view of bringing people into my story for the dojo and for the long-term goals is something that's kind of settling with me now. So that's what I'm kind of looking into and exploring with my business mentor right now. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much everything so far in the 50 days. I've really enjoyed just being in the sun and the warmth and not having to completely layer myself in clothes all the time. It's really interesting how being my natural darker shade of skin tone means that I'm happier just by default as opposed to being my winter shade. People of color will understand that. Anyway, 50 days in, things are going well, and we'll see what happens over the next 50 days. Okay, I love your sweat. I love your face. Yes, I love your face. Goodbye.